And this is the back of the ship, the infinity pool.
Is this the back?
Is this the back? We are Rich, Jen, Dexter and Penny, a family of 4 who loves to travel, and in this video we head to the seas and embark on a cruise to the Norwegian Fjords on the P&O ship IONA. This is not only our first time on IONA, it's actually our first time on any cruise ship ever, so it'll be interesting to see what we think of the experience. So we've just got on the ship and we've just had some food in Horizon. The buffet selection on Horizon when we got on wasn't great. It was quite limited, but I think it might get better sort of once we leave the dock, because we're not left yet. It was okay, a bit chaotic because I think everyone's just hungry now to go on the ship. Food was okay. How was yours?
Yeah, it was alright. Just chicken and chips.
Just chicken and chips. I had pasta and chips, that was pretty basic. We're going to just zip around. Dex is having a nap, so we're just going to zip around and see what food options are good for Dex. So we just come to Taste 360, which is just near the Sky Dome. We just want to, while Dex is asleep, test the water, see what it's like. So it's just basically like pizza, chips, burgers, hot dogs, the usual. So we're just going to have a little bit of each, see what they like. I've got a feeling the burger's going to be pretty school dinner bog standard, but hopefully I'm wrong.
2 bite rich all the time.
That quite literally tastes exactly like a real fancy burger.
Does it?
Even the bread.
Out of 5?
Like a 2. That's not based on that's not like horrible, it's okay, it's fine, it's just clearly cheap. Pepperoni's cheap. I'm not a connoisseur by any sense. That just tastes like the cheap £1 Asda pizzas. The pepperoni's the same. So Ocean Studios is the onboard cinema here with 4 screens, and it's absolutely ace. I think it's probably my favourite part of the ship because I'm a big film fan. I just love these lights, the sort of roaring 20s sort of aesthetic, and just walk into each screen. You don't have to book, no booking required, and there's a seating plan outside each screen to show you how busy it is. We just walked in to see Hop, Dexter wanted to see. There's absolutely no one in there. It's brilliant. What is it?
I bed. It's a ladder.
And a ladder? So where are you sleeping and where's Daddy sleeping?
And you're sleeping on the
Is that right, yeah?
I'm sleeping on
You're sleeping on the top bunk, okay. The room is quite small. We were a bit like that what we're going to do with space, because we've got a double bed and a fold-out single bed. So we've got obviously us and the 2 kids. So someone came in and said that the single bed actually turns into a bunk bed. I'm going to sleep on the bottom, Dex is sleeping on the top, and Jen and Penny are going to sleep on the big bed. She is, as of like the last 2 weeks, going through a massive sleep regression of just waking up all the time. So it doesn't make sense that she's in her own cot, plus the cot will block the floor. So as you walk around at night, it becomes quite apparent that quite a lot of the things are to be booked in advance. So you go to a certain performance like headliners and you can't come in unless you booked it. I think that's the case anyway. I think what is good is that just going around the ship, there's just pockets of activity going on, which is good, do you know what I mean? There's plenty to do. I've just been up to the top deck and just nearly got blown over. I'm confident to say I was definitely the only one out there. So it's 3:30 AM now. Penny is going through a bit of a sleep regression at the minute, and she's wide awake this time for the last 2 weeks every night. So instead of trying to fight it in the room and make her sleep, we're just taking her for a walk. I did it the night before around the hotel we were staying in, took her outside, bit of fresh air. Just taking her around the atrium now, which is obviously deserted. No one's stupid enough to be up at 3:30, so that's what we're doing now. A little walk, aren't we, missus? Knackered. So just a quick one on sort of people's attitudes around the ship to kids. The vast majority of adults are really good. We had a bad experience with one person on like the first 5 minutes on the ship. He was just like, he picked up Dexter's teddy like that. He was just, yeah, anyway, forget him. The general consensus is like they're really, really good. Like everyone who's on the cruise, the staff in particular are brilliant. Like pretty much every member of staff has let on to the kids and they've just been really nice, and it doesn't feel like they're faking it, they're going out of the way to just like entertain the kids, and they're being really, really nice. So we booked Dexter this morning into Splashes, which is like a kids club for 2 to 5 year olds. So he's going to go and have a little play in that this morning. We're a bit like Headstone whether to do it. We're not binning them off in there, it's literally so he can mingle with other kids. Kids need that. So we're going to see how he does. If he likes it, we can book a few more sessions, but he seems well up for it. so we'll see. So the general selection for breakfast is really good, especially for kids. Dex had plenty of like fruit and pastries. I'd say the full English is like pretty bog standard. Like it tastes like a Premier Inn breakfast, which isn't a problem. I don't really have a problem with
And
that.
croissants.
You had croissants as well.
Yeah.
My pints.
And Dad.
So we just dropped Dex off at the kids club. He was buzzing, he just went straight in, didn't even look back. He's booked in for like 2.5 hours, and tomorrow, as a preliminary one, we booked one that's like up to 4 hours, but you can turn up at any time during that time. So you can turn up for the last half an hour if you want. I'd definitely turn up bang on time, because each of the kids clubs are different ages. There's just a queue out the door, and it's only one kid at a time signing up, so there's kind of a flow, and it takes a while. We were there for like 10 minutes just getting in, so yeah, just keep that in mind. So what are we doing here, Jen?
So we've come to, is this the atrium? We've come to the atrium, which is, would you say, just the main part of the ship. So we're at a session called Creative Waves, doing a coffee and canvas session.
So yeah, we're at this Creative Waves session, coffee and canvas. It's actually painting with coffee, shots of coffee on canvas, which is quirky. We did our first painting session with wine recently, and we absolutely loved it, so we're going to give it a go. It is actually a cost. It's £7.50 each with this, but you do get a proper coffee with it. A lot of the coffee on board is very just like bog standard coffee, but this is proper coffee from Costa. Proper coffee, sort of. So we get a coffee each, which is what, £3 a coffee really, so you're probably paying about £4 for the painting session for all the stuff, but that's really good. Just going to give examples of what to paint. I cannot paint. This is like we've mentioned painting quite a few times recently on social media and whatnot. Can't paint. I think it's fun, just can't do it. Let's see. This isn't one of those like, oh my god, look what I did. Costume. It's probably going to be rubbish. It's all about participating and having a bit of fun, isn't it? I did not paint this.
Your basic flower. I'm going to say it's the Hawaiian flower. It's
The one that you wear in your hair? No, it's cappuccino. I've just done one. It actually looks decent on camera. You can see the contrast. Oh my god, it's something I used this as inspiration. So I basically ripped someone else's design off and kind of did my own version. Well, there you go.
So we've just come into bingo. We've never done bingo before. Dax is in the kids club still, Penny's asleep, so we thought let's have a game of bingo. A book, I don't know how many games it is, it was £8, and I just heard if you want a dabber it's about £2. So we're currently on the hunt for a pen.
It's loud, isn't it? It's 11 AM.
It's pretty busy.
The music's flowing like wine. We have no idea what's going on. I had to just run around an half-inch of pen because I'm not going to pay £2 for a dabber. Oh, we got 30. Is that good? Next to 46. Oh, we're going to win. So why are the gaps?
47.
People don't mess around when it comes to bingo. This is dead
2 and
serious.
4, 24. 6 and 8, 68.
If that's changing technically.
So what are we doing, Dex?
I'm going to also be painting.
Art painting.
So me and Penny have just come back to the room so she can have a little nap, and this is on our bed. So tonight's a celebration night where we're booked in for a meal and we have to get dressed up. And we've got a voucher where me and Rich can have a drink. So it says there's either a glass of fizz or elderflower press. Wherever we go, we always find Modern Family. There's actually a really good selection of like films, TV and everything on there. Tell like the new Barbie and like Oppenheimer is on in the cinema, but in the room as well, which is good.
3, 2, 1. What is? 3, 2, 1. So we've got dressed up semi-smart tonight because it's a celebration night. I researched into it quite a bit, and my impression of the celebration night and black tie was basically smart, you know, like suit pants and a shirt. I'm usually quite good at researching things like this. I looked into it thoroughly. Anyway, we went to go to a reservation before in the Coral restaurant. I basically got turned away because I wasn't in black tie, so that was disappointing. But I just wanted to mention it because, you know, just to save any disappointments, you have to literally be in black tie. Every one of the restaurants you have to book tonight is black tie. So a bit of a change of plan. We've basically come back to where we had lunch earlier. Me and Dex are having fish and chips, and Jen's having the katsu curry again. Good morning. Send Jen to the buffet and here's what she comes back with. Carbs and sweet things. Dex has got cereal. I've got a full English again. Do you know what? You do these like Cumberland black pepper sausages, unbelievable. A very random note about the music on board IONA. It's like an alien's come to planet Earth, like, and made an amalgamation of the last like 50 to 60 to 70 years of music and just put it on a playlist. It's all over the place. We were in breakfast before, Taylor Swift was playing, and right after Taylor Swift was Soft Cell. It's like they've tried to touch on every single demographic possible on the cruise, which is fair enough I suppose, but it's just all over the place, it's hilarious. Basically no one uses them anymore, so you convert them into like mini library. I don't know if they're free or not.
Well, a library would suggest you take one and return it.
Not for me. So it's like mid-May here, and we prepared for kind of wintry weather. Right now the temperature's like 15, heading towards 20, and I've got a coat on, Jen's got a coat on, and we're roasting. So this is a quirky little street, one of the main quirky, colourful streets around here. It's called that, I can't pronounce it, Hagagarten. So it's a cool, funky street this, but I do get the impression it's very much like a nightlife thing. There's a few like quirky bars and pubs. It's just, everything's closed now. There's quite a lot closed here. It's almost like bank holiday. But I think, I get the impression that things wake up a little bit later, like around lunchtime. So travelling with two kids, we were unsure what the winning combination was going to be in terms of a pram or carrier or whatever. So
Italy and America, we had the double
yeah,
pram. Double pram was great in Florida because it's smooth and Disney.
Yeah.
Italy, a little bit different.
Like cobbles, like we're walking on now, it just doesn't work. A double pram, it's not got enough dexterity. So the pram is for the baby the majority of the time. The buggy board is for when Dexter wants to be on the pram with the baby, and a footrest. But then sometimes Dexter's totally wiped out, and he needs a bit of time in the pram, which he's got now, which is when we had the baby carrier. So it's kind of covering all stops. So anyone's travelling with kids, maybe if you've not got a buggy board, get a buggy board. It's honestly the best investment we've had with kids. It's been amazing. You right there, Dex? he's hungry. So we've come to a nice place here for a coffee. We've got a latte. I also seen that there's like, I wanted to get some local snacks, so waffles are popular in Norway. So the main thing that people have on waffles here apparently is sour cream and jam. And the main thing they do is eat it with the hands. But she said there's a knife and fork there because I can see that you're not from around there. So I was like, okay, should we eat it with our hands? Oh, don't let it too hot. Oh no. Breeze, do you feel that breeze? Oh wow. Penny wants some. So we've just come up to this tower that's near the port. This is a nice little lookout point you can see over the boat. There's also a play area which Dex was right onto. I think he needs to blow up a little bit of steam. But it's a really good view from up here. You can see obviously the cruise ship and the port, but also a lot of the just sort of general architecture in the houses here. Dexter, what have you got?
Ice cream.
What flavour?
Strawberry.
So this is a bit like Cornwall and like the shambles in York, the way it's old-timey, but it's everywhere. But it's seaside like Cornwall. Look at that, look, Cornwall.
Wow. And that's the nicest Irish bar I've ever seen.
So just a 5-minute walk from the port. There's just like a nice little lake here where you can just sit and have like some lunch or something like that. But we've just been there now. Again, the weather is unbelievable. It's borderline too hot. What is going on? So these statues, there's 23 in total scattered around Stavanger, and it's basically to encourage tourists to venture out and explore Stavanger. And they were designed by a British artist, Anthony Gunn. So if you wanted to, hang on little man, if you wanted to, you could go around and try and find them. So here's one.
23.
23. There's also these impressions on the floor. I think it's called the Path of Peace. I think it's multiple different sort of Nobel Prize winners. Yeah. So this is the old town. It's lovely. Loads of little cobbled streets and white houses, and there's tons of them around here, and it's just near the port. I mean, the ship is right there. It's really nice. Look at that girl, look how fast she's going. Wow. Just spotted her toes. So if you've got an excursion book that includes a bus transfer like we have, it's actually at the front of the ship, so when you get off it's going to be right instead of left, which is into Stavanger. So on our way to the Iron Age excursion, we've stopped off at these giant swords stuck in the ground here in celebration of hundreds, or was it even 1,000 years?
Yeah, it's 1,150.
1,150 years after a great battle. But these are really cool, especially if you can get it as part of an excursion, otherwise it's a 10-minute journey out.
That are more difficult to interpret, but it means something unexpected, mystical, magical. So the thing is, the trick is, if you start expecting something, it's not going to happen. So go with the flow.
Forget about it. So we just did the Iron Age experience. That was really good. I'd say it's definitely a good experience for kids. Very interactive, and Dax loved it. Yeah, what was your favourite part?
Bow and arrows.
The arrows. Was that good? Finding the bow and arrow? So Josh was 9 foot tall and he had magic underpants. So Dex has gone into kids club again, and Penny's currently having a sleep in the pram. So me and Jen are just making an excuse to just have a bit of a tiny mini hour and a half or so vacation alone. So we come in the infinity pool, and then we're gonna have a go in the jacuzzi. We're gonna do everything on the ship once within an hour and a half without kids. That's the plan. So yeah, and this is the back of the ship, the infinity pool.
Is this the back?
Is this the back? Oh. That's enough alone time. Let's get back to the kids. Just come out the toilets and Jen said, "What have you done?" I've only forgotten my shorts again, haven't I? These are my swim shorts. For some reason, I can't figure out what you need to take to swimming. I always forget something. So, I've only got these, they're going to be wet. I'll take them off and wring them out, wring them off in the sink, wringing them off in the sink. They're pretty dry, ready to go. Let me just put them down, wet my hand. Sensor goes off in the sink, tap wets them again. Honestly, you can't take me swimming. So these are soaked. I give up. So it's 5 AM in the morning and I've just come for a little wander around the deck as we come into Olden. We finally hit the fjords and the views here are absolutely amazing. The sun's just come up, so you can just see the sun. And yeah, it's just ace. Really nice. So I've been out on the deck and I've had a little run. I thought I'd just sit down with a coffee and a few little snacks and look out the window. I tell you what, finding a coffee was difficult. Horizon buffet is the only thing that's open, so if you want a coffee early in the morning, go Horizon. I think if you're up early and you've been out on the deck, or generally if you want the clearest view of the fjords and just chilling with a coffee, I'd come to the Grand Atrium on deck 6. On 16 where Horizon is, the only place that's serving coffee. Everyone seems to be there and the windows seem to be dirtier. Obviously on the deck you're obstructed by the sides of the ship and it is very windy and it's cold. So in the Grand Atrium they've got these big tall windows. You've got a great view, nice and quiet. There's 2 more people in here on the far side, but it's lovely, it's really nice. I love the fact that everyone's up for getting up as well. I'm not saying like I'm the only one who's ever getting up, but it's good to see that everyone's embracing it. And especially at the front of the ship where I got some nice sunrise pictures, it was very busy. Everyone wanted to just get up and see it, which was really nice. But yeah, I get why people say get up for Olden. I know people are getting up at like 4 AM. It's dark at 4 AM, so I don't know. But sunrise was about 10 to 5. Usually with sunrise you've got about 10-20 minutes until the sun actually goes boop. I thought to use this time as well really quick to reel off some sort of quick facts and sort of Q&A style thing about some things we found out while we're on the ship. Is there a formal dress code walking around the ship? No, not really. Except for celebration nights, you can pretty much wear whatever you want. It's just suggested that evening casual like shirts and smart pants, smart trousers, but really it doesn't really matter. Everyone's wearing whatever they want. Can kids go in the swimming pools on board? Yes, they can. There are signs everywhere that says they have to be toilet trained. They can't use diapers. But I was told by numerous members of staff to just go with it and go in. And we went in the main pool in the Sky Dome, and it was absolutely fine. And I've actually seen kids in other pools as well. And you're probably more likely to have one of the other guests have a moan ear as opposed to the staff. Can you take food from different buffets to different parts of the ship? Yes, as far as I'm aware. I've seen other people do it. I've done it myself. I've gone from Taste 360, took it through to Horizon, vice versa. I've just brought a coffee down from Horizon and some snacks down to the Grand Atrium, and no one said anything. So yeah, I think that's absolutely fine. Do you have to go through security checkpoints every time you go on and off the ship? Going off, yes, all you do is scan your card, your ship card, which every guest gets. And when you come back on, you go through a very quick version of airport security, putting your bag through the scanners, walk through the metal detectors, but it is very, very quick. Can you feel the rocking of the ship while you're on it? Short answer, no. Long answer, a tiny, tiny bit. If you stop and focus, you can actually feel it. We've not once felt like we were swaying side by side. This isn't a ferry, it's a ship. And I think even if you are the most squeamish person who gets sick in the back of a car, this still would not affect you. It's quite hard to describe, but it is such a minuscule movement you can feel. We brought sickness bands and everything for the kids. I don't think it's going to be an issue to anyone. Surely not. There's barely any movement whatsoever. It's not like I'm sitting here right now and I'm moving at all. Right now, I can't feel a single thing. Can you roam the ship at any time of day or night? Yes, you can, but a lot of things aren't open. You can walk through I think you can probably just walk through the restaurants as well. But yeah, they have their own opening times. But you can walk wherever you want at any point. Is the P&O My Holiday app/website any good? Yes, I think it's brilliant personally. Connecting to it can be a bit hit and miss because you have to be on airplane mode and then connect to their Wi-Fi. And then I've actually found that Googling My Holiday P&O actually gets me to it. You can scan a QR code on board, those dotted around, to take you right to it. It's not an app, it's not a website, it's kind of a bit of both. And honestly, I've touched upon it before, I think it's brilliant for checking the schedule of what's on. For checking things you've got booked in your diary. It's brilliant. I think it's really good, and all I've heard is bad things, but there you go. If you don't have Wi-Fi, is there a way of communicating on board? Short answer, no. If you don't have Wi-Fi, you have to pay for Wi-Fi. I can't remember how much it is, but if you don't pay for it, there's basically no way to communicate between you, your family and your friends when you're on board, as far as I'm aware. So if you've got no signal, you've got no Wi-Fi, we have to just do the old school method. We will meet here at X time, and that's it. You do actually have an hour of free Wi-Fi, which I think every guest gets during your trip. I've not activated mine yet. Jen has done hers, so maybe save that for obviously times where you want to get in touch with family and friends. What we've actually done is we've just been turning our phones onto airplane mode, and when we get to certain destinations, putting our data on. I'm with EE, and it's about £2.50 a day to use your data, which I'm fine with. That means us navigating around certain places in Norway. Just make sure you put your data on once you get to the port, otherwise you pay maritime rates and it is extortionate. Very, 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 very expensive, so make sure you're in the port. I think it probably, maritime thing ends within like 10 miles away you're going, but just make sure you're in the port when you put your airplane mode off. Also, small thing on the My Holiday P&O thing, by the way, you pretty much reconnect every day. Once you've reconnected, I found that you can actually Google things for quite a while and still get results. You can't delve into those links, but there's almost this little like small tether you've got to the internet. So once you connect to My P&O, if you want to Google things like football scores like I've been, or little tidbits and facts, you can. You just can't go into the links. So just keep that in mind. I found it by chance, but if you feel like you absolutely need to Google something while on board, once you connect to My Holiday, it does work a little bit. Does the IONA feel like a massive, overwhelming ship? Honestly, no, I don't think so. This is our first cruise, so we haven't really got any point of reference, but I think within a day or two, you'll definitely have your bearings, and you'll be able to find your way around pretty easily, especially when you've got something like the Grand Atrium as the centre and you just go off either way. I just think, I don't think it's overwhelming at all. I think it's quite easy to get used to. It can get a little bit confusing with similar floors when you've got the buffet on one floor and then another restaurant on the other one that's similarly laid out. So it can get a little bit confusing, but in terms of the size being overwhelming, no, I don't think so. So, we're in Olden today, and we've got an excursion booked, the glacier excursion, Briskdal Glacier, at about 1 PM. So the big question is, can you do the skylift and the glacier in the same day? That's what we're planning to do. We didn't book the skylift ahead of time because you probably know if you start to look into it, it's very obscure as to the best and affordable, most efficient way to get there. Now, if you book through P&O or like Olden Adventures, it is expensive. You're basically paying, I work out the maths, about 100 quid for a 10-minute bus journey, and I just couldn't pay it. I just thought it was a rip-off. So we thought we'd chance it and just wing it and do it when we got here. Now, we've done this. You go to a ticket office, the glass building ticket office, as soon as you get off the ship, and it's 70 quid per adult, but that includes your bus transfer. So that 100 quid bus transfer is just basically, we've saved that. You do end up in a massive queue to get the bus, but to be honest, I think Olden is literally a tale of big long queues to get to the skylift basically, so I think you're going to be waiting in a queue regardless. And importantly as well, this free transfer includes a bus back. So a lot of people were saying they were scared they wouldn't be able to get back, but you can with this one.
And isn't it every 10 minutes as well?
Yeah, it's like every 10 minutes the bus, so I think this is the best option. You're going to be waiting in a queue, but everyone is waiting in a queue here, even people who paid well in advance. But ultimately the bottom line is you save about 100 quid on buses, and it gets you there and back. So we've got to the skylift, and we've just joined the queue, we think. The queue is absolute chaos. I've heard the queues along here, but it's zigzagging all over the place. People are joining the queue to join the queue. I'm just hoping we're in a queue to get on the lift. It's just nuts. They need someone to organise it, but we're in the queue anyway. Yet another queue. I think this is literally the story of Olden. Can you see our boat? Where is it? Where is it? All the way over there.
Yeah.
So we got to the top of the skylift. There's the ship there. Is this there? Yeah, the queue was a bit of a nightmare, but the views up here are amazing. Really, really good. I think when you're down there, you can only just see the snow-capped mountains. And when you're up here, you're level with the snow, and it just looks ace. It's really good. So while you're up here, you can go to the main lookout area where we've just been, or you can actually go for a hike. There's a lot of different hiking trails up here. There's like a big igloo over there as well, and a giant horseshoe. So this area here, you can kind of just like venture wherever you want. It's great. You've got like the igloo there. You've got a really good path, which we're managing to get around with the pram. But generally, you can just kind of walk all over the snow here. It's really good. They've also got a restaurant at the skylift, just here with amazing views through this window. Where are we going?
Down.
We're going down. I'm not gonna do So in Norway, bus drivers have to give you a car seat for infants. So Penny is in a car seat. We just got to the glacier walk. We got the bus just outside the petrol station near the pier at the port. With Olden Adventures, and this dropped us off right at the sort of meeting point, little cafe and shop. Now, Dexter's just fallen asleep 5 minutes before getting off. Jen is carrying Penny, and we have been told that it's possible to take the pram, so I am pushing the pram all the way up the 45-minute hike, so hopefully it's alright. So the first bit of the hike is pretty steep. I've heard that it flattens out, but we'll see.
We're having a race. I'm going up the steps with Penny and Richard's going up the ramp with Dex on the pram. Richard's probably slipping away because I'm knackered.
How are we doing, Jen?
Knackered.
You don't look like you're breaking a sweat, missus. Dex doesn't even have a clue what's going on. So I think we've done the main bit of the walk now. Jen went up the steps, I had to go up the ramp because of the pram. So the guy on the bus said, you'd be fine doing it with the pram. I don't think it's that bad. However, I wouldn't recommend doing it with the pram.
It'd kill me.
It's a bit of a fat flight. But check it out. So I think we're about 10 minutes away now, and then I don't know what the way down's going to be like, because alright, it's downhill, but yeah, I wouldn't recommend doing it with a pram. I don't think it's that bad, but I'm like, I've got my running mind on, I'm like, I'm going full steam, I'm fine, but the average person probably would just leave the child. Lovely here though, like look at that behind us. We're heading towards the glacier, but look at that. Wow.
What even is that? Like, it's just mental.
Norway. He was like, you take the pram, it's fine. Lie. Oh. By the way, I've not mentioned, we did a DNA test recently and I'm 26%. Oh my god, did you hear my accent coming out then? 26% Scandinavian apparently. And I swear someone said something to me in Norwegian before and I just understood them like it was English. So as you walk towards the glacier, there's these signs here saying that was where the front of the glacier was at a certain date. So in 1760, the front of the glacier was there. It's now melted all the way back. Obviously, as time goes on, it's going to get less and less. It's just going to disappear, but that's crazy to think it's melted that much. So Dex has just woken up. Where are we, Dex? You have no idea what's happened. So we just made it to the end of the hike. And as you can see, it's just water. Woo! Check it out, Dex. So we're just on our way, hiking down now. Definitely easier going down with the pram. That's really cool at the top, the nice blue body of water. I had a little walk in it, had a little drink of the water. Very fresh, very cold. If you're just an adult on your own without kids, it's quite an enjoyable hike. It's really easy, nice and gradual. Nothing too crazy. Nice. I think they say it takes about 45 minutes, which if you're just casually doing it on your own, probably, yeah, 45 minutes. I think it took us about, probably about 45-50 minutes, and then we stopped for about 10 minutes. But yeah, definitely worth doing, really nice. So we're on our way down now, but you can actually get the troll cars, which are behind me now. They're like little buggy cars, you can go up and down, but we've chose to walk, but you can do that. So at certain ports they do sail away parties where the locals wave and play music, so that's what we're doing now. It's awkward, isn't it? I know we mentioned it earlier about staff being really really child friendly, but I know we're biased and we think we've got the cutest kids in the world, but the staff act like they are literally the cutest kids they've ever seen. Like, the staff are so nice. Like, going through security, every single one of them, maybe there was 8-9 people there, were like doting on the kids. But they're faultless throughout the cruise, aren't they? They are so good with kids, really, really good. They're just, I would say, every kid that walks past, they dote on them 100%, and you feel really welcome, because it can be quite intimidating with other people who don't have kids, especially seasoned cruisers, like looking at you all the time because you've got kids, but like I said, 99% are great anyway. Also, slight aside, oh god, that's close. Also, slight aside, with the Horizon buffet at between 5 and 5:45, they have a kids-specific buffet where only kids and families are allowed, and they have literally like kids party food, like chips, pasta, chicken breasts, sandwiches, hot dogs. So yeah, that's definitely worth noting if you've got fussy eaters. Third day in, by the way, we've only just found out that the American Grill does chicken nuggets, like a kid's portion of chicken nuggets. There's a tiny little sign that stood at the end of the restaurant, and it says, "We do chicken nuggets and fish fingers." So if you've got any fussy kids who need chicken nuggets, there you go.